Hi everyone, welcome back to our RBT training. All right, so today we are going to be going over exactly what ABA is, discussing the 7 dimensions of applied behavioral analysis, and getting started with your SAFMed cards. So to begin, let's discuss a little bit about exactly what applied behavioral analysis is. So applied behavioral analysis is a field of behavior analysis. Behavioral analysis comes in a variety of different formats. It can be done in an experimental format, experimental behavioral analysis, which sometimes includes testing of animals, testing of basic principles, sometimes used in clinical facilities. And then we also have industrial behavioral analysis, where corporations might use behavioral analysis to better assess product development, things like that. And the list goes on, and it could include criminal behavioral analysis. And so when we're discussing applied behavioral analysis, it's set apart from the other fields in the fact that it's applied. Applied means that we're working towards creating socially significant change for the people that we're working with. And hence it's applied because it can be applicable to the culture or the society that we're working within. So as part of that, obviously, there is a huge amount of ethics, as we already talked about, because we are working with behavioral principles and changing people's behavior. So it needs to be taken with serious ethical concern and constructs. So within applied behavioral analysis, our field began initially trying to set itself aside from pseudo-psychologies or psychology that dealt more with the inner workings of the mind. And to do that, they wanted to really base their work on measurable behavior, things that can be seen, not including internal events. So when we're talking about applied behavioral analysis, we're talking about things that we can see and observe change over time, okay? And in this way, we can make it accountable, measurable, and ensure that we really are creating a change based on the interventions that we apply or take away. All right, so in part of that, I'm going to have you read an article. It's by Bear, Wolf, and Risley, and it's titled Some Current Dimensions of Applied Behavior Analysis. Okay, and this was first published in 1968 in the Journal of Applied Behavioral Analysis. The Journal of Applied Behavioral Analysis is a peer-reviewed journal that applied behavioral analysts use to publish their work and have their studies reviewed by a board. And so this was one of the first really important pieces or journal articles that came out. And Bear, Wolf, and Risley's intent was, again, to set behavioral analysis apart from other fields of psychology by saying that we live to some very, very specific principles that make our field really dependable, okay? Really measurable, accountable for behavior change. So they did this by defining dimensions of behavioral analysis. There are 7, okay? And there's a great acronym to be able to remember them. It's called GET a CAB. That stands for G, generality, E, effective, T, technological, A, applied, C, conceptually systematic, A, analytic, and B, behavioral. Based on these principles, we can ensure that we are acting within the field of behavioral analysis. And as we go through our coursework, we're going to keep referring back to those terms. So get to know them now. They will be on your final exam. And I'm sure when you actually take the exam through the BACB website, they'll be there as well. So remember that acronym. And again, it's Get a Cab. All right. So we're going to stop there for a moment, and we're going to review what SAF meds are, because we're going to use these 7 dimensions of behavioral analysis as perfect examples for your first SAF med cards to increase the ability for you to really remember them with automaticity, okay, and automatic recall when you see that term somewhere in your reading or you hear it somewhere in future sessions. You're going to say, yep, I know exactly what the definition to that is. All right.